I'm going to show you how to put a skateboard together, the basics of ordering the right parts. You could get a really phenomenal skateboard for a very reasonable price with excellent technology today. And I'm going to show you how to do it and how to make it right for you to get the right skateboard that fits you perfectly. Okay, now for the magic show of putting it together. They got a lot of little things that they want to sell you, like as far as you got a little file to do your grip tape. We're going to put our truck together first with the wheel to help roll the grip tape on. They sell a grip tape roller for like 20 bucks. We don't need that. We're going to start with putting our wheels on, and sometimes they even have a bearing press to press it into the wheels. We're going to do that real gingerly ourselves without having to spend too much money. Remember, we're trying to keep this very reasonably priced as well too. Alright, here we go. Let's talk about tools. You're going to need like a rasp or a file. A rounded one is best. A utility knife, a nice sharp one. You're going to need, sometimes you get a skate tool. I like to use sockets. I got a 1/2 inch for my axles. I have a 9/16 for my truck bolt with the nice extension on it, so it's going to clear the truck axle, so this socket wrench isn't right up against it. And then I'm also going to have, for my bolts, I'm going to have a 3/8, and I like this little screwdriver kind. I like having all this separate with a little ratcheting system as opposed to a skate tool. Having a skate tool is great, but for putting it together, that's ideal. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our bearings in. I'm not going to do everything. We're going to time lapse this a little bit, but one thing I want to show you, whoa, ride the chaos of life with your new skateboard. Okay, now, one thing I'm going to show you a little bit about is bearings. When you put your bearings in, make sure that you don't stick them on the end of the truck and smash or dent the bearing. Your truck is going to come with 2 little washers on it. You're going to leave 1 washer against the actual axle on there, and then you're going to put this wheel on. Now what you want to do with your bearings is push them in with your thumbs. Just push them in real gently by yourself. Don't take this and smash it really hard against the truck, or you're going to dent your bearing. Then you take this spacer and you drop it in, and you got to make sure, of course, that it's going the right way. And 3rd time's a charm, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to take my next bearing and I'm going to put this one in here, just like I did the first one. Now I'm trying not to let that washer slide around in there. Using my thumbs, I'm going to push this in. Alright, now I got my second bearing in there, and I just put it on. Rolls good. I put my washer on, and then I'm going to screw the nut on. Now what usually happens is you're going to ride your skateboard and the bearings are going to seat a little bit more, and you're going to need to tighten this nut a little bit more. When you tighten these nuts, you want to make sure you don't cross thread it. See how I'm starting it by hand? You want to make sure that you don't cross thread it from the beginning, because then once again you're going to ruin it. And it's going to be done. So I'm going to gingerly do this. Okay, grip tape. It can be a little bit of a nightmare. Some people like to have a lot of fun with it. Mob grip has so many crazy patterns now. You can get just ridiculous with it. I like this Thrasher logo because I used to actually put stencils and spray paint this on my graphics. But the cool thing is now that the graphics actually don't take away from the traction on your board. Some people like different kinds of grip. I don't like super thick, like sandpaper. You know, this would be like, I don't know, like maybe like this is a 80 grit sandpaper. I don't want to go like 60 where it's just like so much actual grit to it. This is what I prefer. I like the mob grip. And here's my board. So you're looking at it and you're like, okay, here's my nose, here's my tail with the P2 on it, here's how it looks. I want it to end up looking like this. That's how I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like line everything up and look at it. Then I'm going to peel it and place it on. I got my grip tape on it. I evenly laid it out. Now, they sell this product that's a grip tape roller to make sure it comes on. I just use my new wheel and truck, and I go ahead and roll it. Breaking in those new OJs. Getting that insane thing going. Whoa, got a little too excited. Sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and roll it on. And you can see I could even kind of just roll these edges a little bit. And then I'm going to see where it's at. But it's actually making sure, especially in the concave areas, I really like the new decks. I really love Santa Cruz. I think Creature has probably a little bit more concave to it, but Santa Cruz, all the NHS brands, Santa Cruz, Creature, I really love the amount of concave they have. But rolling this on is just going to make sure that I have it in just the right way for when I cut it. And I'm also finding out where my edges are. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my rasp, and not too heavy. I'm just going to go a little bit light around it, and then I'm going to find my edge for where I'm going to cut it with my utility knife. Now, everybody out there, be real careful with utility knives. You never want to put, depending if you're right or left-handed, you never want to have your hand like right here, where you can do that, of course. Or, like, see how I got a good workstation set up right here? I got a little towel underneath. I mean, most of you skaters out there, these graphics are going to be donezo before you know it. But having the nice work surface, I think is important too. Having things kind of clean and set up. And once I go ahead and use the rasp to draw my line, some people I remember back in the day used to actually use that and file it off. I'm going to use that to create a nice line, and then I'm going to cut it with my strong, good. I like these locking utility knives myself, and I'm going to cut that clean. This is really cool. I got it all. See how you could see the line around it? That's all I wanted to do with my rasp. I didn't want to go too hard on it. That's just where I'm going to cut my edge. Now, whenever you're cutting, try to have like a nice line and smooth. And press firm. Don't be afraid to press pretty firm, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of snaggletooth stuff going on. I'm actually going to stand up and do this and have my hand away from the blade, watching my thumb, and I'm going to have a nice strong line, kind of like you're waxing a board. I got to get the right body posture, and I'm actually going to stand up and do that. Okay, it's kind of like out there, any of you who've done some carpentry or whatever, do you leave the line or cut on the line or on the inside of the line? Cut on the outside of the line. So I'm going to leave the line coming through, and sometimes the nose is a little tricky. Don't worry, you're going to scratch that board really good later on. But having a nice firm grip on the board helps. And then seeing where you're going. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a good look. If you have a sharper razor blade, it makes this so much easier. And it's not going to come out perfect. You're going to have little wobbles, kind of like with a jigsaw or whatever. But watching your fingers, don't be afraid to cut into your board a little bit. Those things are nice. It's hard maple, okay? And I'm keeping it real even, leaving the line. The more you can keep a smooth stroke, the more you're not going to have jagged edges. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut in a little bit, and then see how it just kind of peels away. And if it doesn't peel away, then I can take my knife, my utility knife, and cut it. Just keep going. Have fun. Okay, one of the biggest things about doing things yourself is don't be too hard on yourself. Grip tape, it's $9. You can buy more grip tape. Don't be too hard on yourself. Have fun doing it. You did it yourself. Okay, now I like this rasp because I can poke through where the bolts are. I'm going to poke through each one as I go on. Now I take these little extra pieces and just rip those off, put them in my pile. You get rid of this little excess because it could make it a little bit harder when you're tightening down your bolts. So now I've got 2 bags of bolts. What am I going to do? I'm going to mix it up. That's one of the fun things about doing things yourself too. So I'm actually going to, looking at my skateboard, I like to have something that helps me know which one is my nose. On this skateboard, I put a little Ride the Chaos on the front. Or actually, my wife did it. If I was younger, I'd have my girlfriend maybe do it. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. You're going to have maybe somebody else do some little artwork on there for you. I think that's kind of touching. But I like to know which one's my nose. A lot of skateboards are universal, but I feel like your nose and your tail are different. On these decks, all these ones, they are different. So what I'm going to do is, my color theme for this one, let's see, yellow and black. Let's go black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. This real shiny yellow one, I like to know that this is, depending on if you're goofy-footed, regular-footed, or whatever, I like to know that that is my lead bolt. And I'm going to put that one in. Yellow in the Thrasher. Now I go black, black. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And then I think what I'm going to do on here is yellow, yellow, black, and black. Why not? I got a good amount of bolts and colors. I think that looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm going to flip this over. Remember, I got a nice workspace that I'm not going to be like scratching Mom's marble table or my wife's table. You think you get in trouble with your mom? It's all over with your wife. Okay, so now I just go ahead and place this puppy on. Cool. And now I can do whatever I want. I kind of think what I want to do is I want to mix up my bolts and my colors. And I just make sure I don't cross thread. Remember cross threading. Such a pain in the ass. Now, each bag of bolts comes with an Allen wrench. Some things are Phillips screws. I like Allen wrenches. I think that they actually, these bag of bolts with Allen wrenches are better quality. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten it up while I'm holding the Allen wrench on the other side. Dropped it. Oopsies. Okay, now, hand tightening it. This is a good lesson for all you out there working on your tires. This is like the bolts on your car, like your bolts on your headset on your bike. Doing the X pattern and then tightening them up so you don't have, what you'll have is if you tighten like these two bolts really tight first and then those, your board's going to want to go in a little crooked direction. I hang tighten that one just about good. And then you don't need to see me doing all this part. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these guys on. All right, almost done. Okay, so remember I tighten my bolts in X pattern. All these guys are nice and tight. You want to make sure too that they're totally flush as possible on the top. That's why I didn't like the independent ones. Then you're going to go ahead and while you're torquing all this, you're going to find that your wheels are going to start to have more play because the bearings are seating more. You're going to tighten and back off a little bit more. And now the final step, the trucks. To me, trucks always come way too loose. So what I do is I'm going to go ahead and tighten them the same. Hopefully they came in the same. They look like they're the same. You'll feel that out too. But I would tighten in increments so that your front and your back trucks are the same. So let's say I start parallel with the truck and I go half a turn. I know these are real loose for me, so I'm going to go a full turn and then I'm going to go to the other side and then I'm going to go, once I get the bolt on, get it parallel to the truck and I'm going to go a full turn. And then I'm going to keep trying it, standing on it until it's just right, do a couple ollies, and then you're all set. I hope you love your board. I hope this works out for you because I know it's worked out for me, and I love building my own boards. I love giving them to people too. I think skating is one of the most beautiful sports and universal sports around the world, and everybody can skate. There's so many places to skate. So just to review, you might want a little bit smaller wheels for street. You might want slightly softer wheels. They go up to 101A. On mine, I went ahead and went with 98s because I like them hard and fast. You can, it's up to you. as far as size go, these are 56. I showed you 54s. I showed you all the way up to 58s. This is a good universal skateboard for street, smaller wheels, smaller trucks. For more of the park, you might get a little bit bigger wheels, wider trucks, a little bit bigger skateboard, but it's up to you. Skate what you like and just love it and ride the chaos. Yeah! Yeah!